with Polygon Pythagoras. MetaMask, yeah, crypto cash. Yeah, I seen the metaverse through Metatope. My eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Phase 1, evolution, revolution. Smart contracts inside your smartphone. Phase 1, evolution, revolution. Help me ET phone. Whole body markerless motion capture. The metaverse broken after the Metatope golden era. The whitelist still open. Hurry up, what you need? Golden chariot. Holy virgins that's holding cherubims, paving the road with fairy dust. Create the avatar of your wildest dreams, yeah, and use it inside your live stream. And on your metaverses, favorite games in widescreen. Metatope, visualize your digital.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on tonight in the space. There's only so many people to listen to this kind of stuff, and as we try out new times, we're gonna run into these type of situations, and it's not typical that like Alex or somebody
like Memecoin Mania, bro. You've got
it's Memecoin Mania, and they also have defaults on there again. I mean, there's just like a lot of the people that would typically go around and look at spaces is getting sucked. Getting sucked dry. You know, like there's not much going on right now, so that's what I'm just saying. It's might be a little slow tonight, guys, but you know, if Enzo just wants to keep on with that, I'll keep listening.
Come on, I think I only got one good song in me to begin with.
Yeah, no, that's enough, Enzo. I don't want to put. I don't even know if we have any listeners. I don't want to put anyone through that, to be quite frank. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot going on, right? I mean, the title of the show, the Memecoin meltdown, and wallet draining. So Chris, I'll leave the wallet draining to you. I know you've been trying to flood bags all day. So, you know, the Memecoin Mania, I mean, man, what a time, what a transition in the market. You know, from a seemingly, you know, very, very slow, large cap tick up to just this absolute insanity. Anything with a 5-letter word and a money sign in front of it's pumping 10x. You know, it's absolutely crazy. And guys, I don't think we did the disclaimer, but you know, nothing in here is financial advice. Nothing in here should be taken as an offer. Please do your own research. If you are planning on making any financial decisions, please consult your financial advisor or do it yourself. But yeah, guys, so you know, the Memecoin Mania has been insane. Over, you know, I mean, right now, you know, you've got Wall Street Bets doing a space. You have Ben, I think Ben's live, and Goner, which are, you know, 3 really interesting situations. Like right now in the Wall Street Bet space, Wall Street Baby is on stage. Like they interact with each other, but so it's like Doge and Wall Street Baby are both on stage. And it's really weird. Like it seems like the founder of Wall Street Bets is to some degree he is aligned. Like he was in the Wall Street Baby space last night, but did not really doing much. And it doesn't really seem like the community's that involved. But man, wouldn't it just take one thing? You know, like if you've already got like the founder of Wall Street Bets there, like if Memecoin season really continues running. You know, that could be a really fun one to kind of keep your eye on, you know. And then Ben, we had BitBoy Crypto, Ben Armstrong, you know, came in. He's now part of that team. And the thing is just ripping, you know, consolidating right now into this prior resistance zone, but still looking, I mean, quite strong, you know, right around the 50 mil market cap. But man, the elephant in the room, the one and only, the god of the frogs, the Pepe. The Pepe has been, you know, really consolidating very nicely. It looks like we've put in potentially a local bottom here. You know, I think a lot of the craziness in the price action. Obviously, I mean, we had quite a run up But you also started to see, ETH fall off, Bitcoin fall off. And when you get, turbulent times with the leaders of the market, you're naturally going to have sell-offs. And that's either way, right? Like volatility in Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to cause for, the lower caps to move negatively most of the time. Now, like Pepe for the past few weeks, and you have those runs where the, the psychological backing and the FOMO and just the continuous marketing efforts can really kind of for some time decouple these assets from the rest of the market, right? We saw it with Ben over the past 48 hours. Great example there. While the rest of the meme coins are taking a hit, Ben is absolutely ripping. But you give it long enough, and they tend to fall in line, right? So if we see Bitcoin and Ethereum, start to cool off here a little bit, maybe consolidate in these ranges, I think we're primed for quite a freaking pump. It's gonna be really fun to see. All the meme coin mania has just accelerated dramatically the burning of Ethereum, right? So like it's really interesting, right? How that that narrative and that cycle plays out, because now as we get these different cycles within the Ethereum network, and you see gas and usage go up so dramatically, we're now burning a very substantial amount of Ethereum. I know over 200,000 Ethereum have been burned since the merge. So as you're having these cycles, and you're having all of this burning of the ETH, it's just slowly eating up the supply and making it harder and harder for ETH to go down, right? Like that's what's going on. And the longer that we see ETH stay strong, through these cycles, the more opportunity this is going to bring, for these different seasons, if you will, whether it's meme coins or NFTs or DeFi, right? So it's just really, really fun to watch all of this play out.
So, Walker, I just got a quick question for you. Wasn't us going to proof of stake over proof of work supposed to lower gas fees, or am I completely mistaken about that? Because gas fees have been absolutely insane.
So it may be the first time in your entire life, Enzo, but you're completely wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. You're not completely wrong. Like there was a lot of misconceptions on the roadmap for Ethereum, and what the terminology of Ethereum 2.0 represents, right? So a lot of people said, hey, we've reached Ethereum 2.0 on the merge, right? That was a big narrative that I heard pushed, and that's not true. So there's a few more upgrades, but the main thing that encompasses Ethereum 2.0 and would, potentially, very likely, dramatically lower the gas fees would be sharding. If you want to look into sharding, Polkadot is a chain that has already implemented it via their parachain ecosystem very effectively. And Enzo, that is the misconception that went around, was that the merge to proof of stake was equal to Ethereum 2.0, which isn't true because sharding isn't implemented yet. So we are on the way. I think a very, very exciting thing right now, and something that I think is being dramatically underutilized, is the layer twos out there. You look at something like Arbitrum. I mean, even Arbitrum Nova, right? And these are solutions that use the Ethereum blockchain as a security layer. They take the information and they roll it up to create basically bulk uploads of of information and then allow the Ethereum blockchain to validate it in a much, much more efficient way. But I mean, you can run Arbitrum, and transactions are a couple pennies, right? With Arbitrum Nova, the transactions can be as low as like a 15th of a penny. I mean, really nothing, right? And once you bridge the assets from mainnet to L2, it's completely seamless, right? And what's so interesting to me is I'm looking at the EVM landscape, and take Metatope for instance, right? The smart contracts that we've developed for EVM compatible chains, it is in almost every case very simple to redeploy those contracts on any other chain that's EVM compatible, right? Whether it's Polygon or Arbitrum or Phantom or whatever. So I think that what we'll see over the next cycle, right? Because I remember the last cycle, it was just atrocious, and I mean we're already much closer to it than I would like. But I remember paying, $200 for a gas fee. It was like, pretty regular. I mean, on NFT mints, I've paid $1,000+ and lost the whole transaction, right, on a failed transaction. My slippage wasn't high enough. And so what I think will happen this cycle, because the infrastructure is so readily available this time, is I hope we see these businesses continue to innovate and educate and make it very easy for users to move over to these L2s. Because as long as the application that you're running is compatible with that L2,
Oh, did we lose Walker?
I think we did.
Well, he might be coming back. He might have gotten a phone call or something. See if he comes back in real quick.
But yeah, that I was under the impression that going to proof of stake was going to give us a lower gas fee. So yeah, interesting to learn that from Walker about the whole sharding. But yeah, I see a lot of people moving to uh, different chains and layer twos because gas fee is insane on Ethereum. I went to go buy a token a few earlier this week, and two of my transactions failed, and that was $100 just gone in failed transactions. So yeah, it was my bad for not setting slippage high enough, but I learned my lesson.
dude. But this is a great conversation, Enzo, right? And this is something honestly that I feel like is dramatically like just missed in the space. Like we have this huge meta right now of like meme coins and like all these opportunities are running rampant. But I can't say that one time I've went into a space and heard like a real discussion of how to execute, these interactions properly, and how we are going about identifying, these different opportunities. So I think it's a great opportunity. What Enzo is talking about here is, I mean, I guess let's take a couple steps back, right? Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Why would we even be willing to pay $100+ for a transaction to purchase this shitcoin? And it's the opportunity cost, right? It's the barrier of entry. So you see in DeFi and around the Ethereum ecosystem, there's been these massive opportunities before it's easy to get to. And those opportunities first come from decentralized exchanges, right? From liquidity pools, typically Uniswap. During the raging bear, I think it was split. I used to use SushiSwap a lot, but Uniswap's really just kind of taken over on the decentralized exchange, especially since V3. So we're looking at these opportunities because there's so much potential, right? You hop into one of these coins, take Pepe, for example, right? Very few people knew about it. Very few people could get their hands on it. It grows and grows and grows. You have all of these different centralized exchange listings, and it brings in, this much lower barrier for entry and typically a lot of liquidity. So there can be phenomenal opportunities in these assets. So not to mention, if you're in on a good coin, I'm air quoting a good coin, right? Really, let's just redefine that as a fair launch, right? Something that isn't just completely botted out, that they didn't give a ton of the supply away to the pre-sale that's going to get dumped on your head, right? You're looking at the tokenomics of the coin. In this time, in a lot of the cases, it's very hard to have any information on like the founders of the team up front, but you can look at the contracts. You can ensure that it's renounced. Token sniffer, even on Dex tools, they have a pretty nice dashboard there on the left-hand side. When you're viewing a token, it tells you, hey, are there any issues that we see? And it's not always accurate. Like I mean, even with Ben token earlier, they were saying there was like 100% tax on sales, which wasn't true, right? That was just a glitch. But there's these good opportunities, for potentially, incredible gains, right? Like, and why the market, right? Why crypto? Why meme coins are so different, and you see this insane amount of energy around it, is truly because of how irrational it is by nature. Right? Like you go look at the stock market or any regulated, trading, and it's most of the time, almost all the time, it's very rational, right? It's a P ratio, it's an earnings report, right? It stays very fundamentally sound in a range. But with crypto, right? Bitcoin doesn't have earnings per share, right? Bitcoin doesn't have all of these fundamental underlying aspects of how a business is run. But what it does have is it has a fixed supply, right? What it does have is a halving. It does have an immutable blockchain and all of these different utilities, and so you can start to derive this value and this expectation of the asset. But then you come all the way down to meme coins. There's absolutely zero rationale, right? No, that's not fair. There is some rationale, right? But very little. It's pretty much as irrational of a market as there is anywhere. So there's these great opportunities, to be an early adopter in something that has seemingly, potentially just a crazy amount of upside. And so when you come in, you've located a good opportunity, and then you got to be safe, right? You got to be secure. And what happens a lot of time with Ethereum transactions, if you come in and you try to purchase a token, let's just say it's $1, right? And you go in to buy that token. Well, let's say there's only, $300,000 worth of liquidity. Well, there's a bot on the other end, or maybe it's just a genuine transaction, right? That executes before yours. Now that price that you went in for, you're out of range. Right, and then that's when your transaction fails, and that's why with these really low cap trades, you have to keep your slippage higher. If I really want something to go through, I'll even make it 5%. I think the standard on Uniswap is 0.1, and so when you're on Uniswap there, the interface, it's just like in the top right hand corner of that trading panel, you'll see a settings button. And you can just go right there, and you can change your tolerance. So depending on how much you want to get into position, how much liquidity and stability is around it, you can make an educated decision on what risks you're willing to take on getting into the position. And, once you're in a lot of these tokens, I mean, now it's hard, right? Like if I would have left, I think I started off in Ben with like 0.5. I think maybe even been less, But let's just say it was 0.5. It doubled, right? I took out my initial, the token tanked, right? Tanked for a few days. But if I would have just left my initial 0.5 in, I'd have had at least 150K, right, off of that token. But with, I believe, every single other position that I've had where I took some but not all profits, I would have done better, much better, just taking all of my money out, right? But that's the game you play, right? Because if we balance that out, in my position, if I would have just left them all, even though I got rugged on quite a few, I would have done better by just leaving them all alone because I had one winner. But generally, the idea is that you go up 2x. It's typically a really good idea to pull out your initial, even some profits, right? That's what I learned is really going forward. If I double a bag, let's say I go up 120%. I think in the future my strategy is going to be, okay, I'm up 120%. Let me take out, 65, 70% of the position, I'm going to take my initial back, right? Put that back into a bag, put that back into ETH, right? Something that's stable. I really want to hold long term, and then keep that other 20% for if the token goes down substantially, right? Because now you're just playing with the house's money. If you're gonna leave some in, keep a little bag there where you can average down, because you can potentially grab a fat bag with very small dollars relatively for the moon ride. How you doing, Scott?
Oh, good man. Just listen the Walker fucking Brainiac, bro. Just soaking it in, man. And
Dude,
no, I
I
love what you
agree.
just said because I just learned that this shitcoin season about like all like just exactly how you broke it down, like keeping the bag on the side for when it goes lower. I think a lot of people like don't like. I think that might be one of the most slept on things, like in Web3 stocks, whatever game you're playing in is keeping that, that like Illa always says, the fresh powder on the side to to obviously if you believe in the coin or you're not just gonna run out. But I think like Pepe, perfect example. That shit went down, and all the people that knew what time it was knew that it was a paid for hit job, and got to buy even more and DCA it out when a lot of people maxed their bag out and kind of like fuck, it's not going anywhere, it's staying. But now I'm kind of locked in my position because I went so crazy before it went down. So yeah, man, I think Walker, you hit it on the head with just keep that 10%, 15% just in case, just like this Pepe situation that's happened.
For sure, bro. And I'm scooping Pepe here, man. Like, that was something we were talking about a little, I think, before you came in, Scott. But I think it's always a great conversation. Just looking at the technicals, looking at the macro economic environment. I mean, we can break it down way past Bitcoin, right? I mean, we gotta look at the dollar. We've got to look at the global currencies and the trade that's going on. But that's always that's this is so much, right? So I think that we can very simply break down the movement of the crypto market to Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? If they're trending, if they're hopefully consolidating in a range, is typically when we get big pumps from alts. And we saw Ethereum, we saw Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been getting flooded super hard because the BRC20s, the chain itself, they've got a massive backlog of transactions just trying to get them through because it's so clogged up, from this activity, and it's really interesting. I think we're at a really like pivotal moment like in blockchain, because like with the Lightning Network and with the development we're seeing on Bitcoin, we could potentially see Bitcoin start to compete with exactly what Ethereum is. Right, but on the flip side of things, we could potentially, we could see things in Bitcoin break, or people see less value in Bitcoin because in ways the value proposition of Bitcoin is shifting.
I actually talking about the BRC20 token. I went into their their Telegram the first day I saw it was a couple of days ago, and I was trying to figure out how to even use the Binance network because I had never used it outside of Binance. I never used BTC before.
Well, there you go. Okay, BTC, because we're
Yeah,
going to talk
BTC,
about
my
it
bad, not
most.
Binance. But BTC before outside of Binance. So I went in there and I was trying to figure out, like, you had to get a certain amount of transactions, and I was like, all right, well, how much? I think it was 20 transactions they told me to get in order to be able to use like their program that they were using. And I asked them like, how much is it in total? And they were like, well, gas is $150 to $300. And I was like, I was priced out. I was like, that's just the gas. I don't have enough for gas. Between $150 and $300 is not my gas range. So I was out of there completely. I couldn't even get one of the coins.
And that's a great point, and something that's going to be very hard for Bitcoin to get away from, just from the nature of the blockchain and some of the the best properties of it being, immutable in a locked supply and a very decentralized proof of work system makes it very, very expensive to run. Now, if anybody's interested in BRC20s, because I definitely think there's a meta around it. I haven't been like as excited and involved thus far. I think there's so much room in ETH for the meme coin season. Personally, again, guys, none of this is financial advice. I think there's so much room there. Now, the opportunity on Bitcoin is very interesting because I think earlier I looked, I don't know where it is now, but I think there's around like $900 million total market cap for all of the coins on Bitcoin. Some of the ones I've looked at are like Ordi. It was the very first BRC20 launched on Bitcoin. Pepe, which interestingly enough, Pepe on Bitcoin was launched before the Pepe on Ethereum. And those are the two that I can remember. I looked at a few others. You can go to Ordinal's wallet. You can just like create a wallet there. I think Unisat is another good place that has like an all-in-one. Here's your wallet. Here's the trading platform. You just load Bitcoin. You can buy it. I don't know what you were talking about with like the transaction. I don't know what you were trying to use. But like if you just go into Ordinal's wallet, create your wallet, you can purchase them as soon as you have Bitcoin in there, and like you'll see different units at like different prices. Yeah, it's really interesting. But I suspect, and not that I think Bitcoin NFTs are dead, right? Like I don't think ordinals are dead. But I think we also saw like how fast, that kind of fizzled out in a way. I think this idea of like rare Satoshis is very interesting and something that will be like significant and historical by nature. But at the end of the day, man, it's about the usability, and like the longevity of a network to sustain a specific activity. And $150 to $300 fees for trading, assets probably isn't going to work. I mean, we see how much it irritates us on Ethereum. Now, why would you see this mass migration of users to a network that's even more expensive with very little solution? Now, the Lightning Network could be a solution to that, potentially. So, Scott, are you going to Bitcoin Miami, bro?
Nah, I'm going to VCons the same days. I didn't know.
Yeah, he's going to VCon like a bozo.
We're gonna be down there at Shitcoin, bro. Shitcoin Miami.
I
Yo,
know
is
Chris
Profits
was
coming with you
telling
up
me
to
about it,
VCon?
bro. I had no idea, dude.
Wait, Scott, is
Bro,
Profits going with you?
I have no idea.
I know you got insurance, bro. Just change that ticket up.
Dude, I wanted to after Chris told me it was up. I was like, damn, it's the same days. I was like, damn, hell.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I think
No, bro.
6 is trying to come out here too, bro. You're gonna be
6 is gonna be down for sure.
the only like MFer at VCon that isn't like a VCon maxi.
Bro, I don't have I literally no, you're dead ass serious, Chris. Like I'm gonna be the only one. Like nobody's going to VCon anymore, bro. It's like crazy. I'm like not one person's going. Like dead ass. Like I'm not even clowning
Bro,
or nothing. Like
floor your VCon, floor your plane ticket, floor your hotel, floor it all.
dude, I want
Maybe
it.
Gary will give you a hug at least. Dude, that's so Scott, like psychologically, man, for anybody that doesn't know Scott, he's a veteran in the space. A very, very smart individual. And like I was kind of just listening, to where you were outlining the current events of your Pepe entries, right? And from what I was hearing, you were kind of saying, hey, like, I wish I would have saved a little bit. Like maybe I was buying too high. And beyond that, I would love to just hear from you, like what your outlook is, like on the Pepe token. And I guess moreover, like the community growth and like where you see it going. Why were you aping in at over $1 billion market cap?
All right, yeah. So I first got in at like 300 million, and that's when I saw like I went to David like Gokhstein's space, and I was like, yo, like, because I didn't know what to think. Is this just another investment coin or just like another, like, not investment, but like another fucking gamble coin? Like I'm just gonna like do something real quick. And like Walker, Chris as well. Like I've been building communities, since 2017 before Discord and all the cool stuff we have now to help us out. So I was like, man, there's something different here, man. There's like I don't know if it's the vibe. I don't know if it's that Web3 motherfuckers were just so bored and we just a lot of us just went straight back to where we came from because 90% of us came from shitcoins. But like people started telling their stories about like now they'll be able to like crazy shit. Like I'm not gonna even count. Like one guy can, on his way to get his tumor out of his neck. Another guy, wasn't ever able to feed his kids in a different country because we always think about America. We don't really think about like we go, oh wow, bro, you posted 4 ETH when like someone in Morocco or something like, they hit 6 ETH, bro. Like they're eating for a year. And I just kept hearing these stories more and more, and I'm like, yo, like, Doge was just a fucking, like, made-up meme, like, with no relevance, no cultural relevance, and that was during the bull. Like, everybody and their mom, was trying to figure out shit after the GameStop stuff. We're literally in the deadest-ass bear market, and all this shit is still going, and then I think it was like 800 million in my space, and I was like, "Yo, 1 billion is programmed." Literally, I didn't know it was going to be 10 hours later, but boom, it hits that. And then Walker, this, Chris as well. Once you hit that Billy, man, like it kind of like gives people like not hope, but like okay, I'll throw my hat in here now. I'll throw some money in here, like, and you're seeing it like lock. It's like we keep thinking it's gonna fold, and then it just goes right back to the support line. So it's just something different here, man. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But for this is my 7th year of building communities hard in Web 2 and Web 3. I'm just seeing something like that I haven't seen before. And maybe it isn't just Pepe, but I'm thinking it's gonna. A lot of people, you heard me in books even argue. A lot of people think the money's going to get parked in NFTs. So I don't think that's going to happen, yo. A lot of people do. I think some people will do that, but it's our job to bring new people in. Like, The guys, okay, I'm gonna use it as an example, not just me piping out my fucking neck. The guys who also the guys and girls who sold their Bored Apes and aped into Pepe. Okay, when they come up, like, you know, whatever they come up on, or if they take a L, the first thing they're thinking is like, how am I gonna buy another Bored Ape? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I've asked people, yo, all of the people that have, you know, gave up an asset. Like, I gave up a lot of my G tags. Like, you know what I mean? Just because I just don't have the patience for that shit anymore. So me on a very micro level is the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna go eight back into shit that I just been sitting on. You know, like, look at all the tokens that we have from Coinbase before Web3, like Chainlink and all this other shit we've been sitting here bored as fuck holding. What's different than that than holding these NFTs that our floors are going to zero anyway? Like, there's literally no difference. Just one points to a fucking digital asset I could fucking see on the blockchain. Like, that's the only fucking thing that's different. So it's showing everyone that literally shit coins are just NFTs without pictures. And you're seeing people galvanize. Here's the most important part. People galvanizing this community without a leader. That's the hardest thing to get people to do. You know, it's easy for Chris to go, yo, do this to this person in his community, or Walker to do it. But it hits different when you have someone like Paulie, David, myself, all these different people that are doing these spaces, Chris. Everyone's like a different wave. Like, me and Paulie don't fuck with each other in any kind of way. But you know what? He can still do his thing. I can still do my thing. And we're not in each other's way, and we're not fighting. But he's still doing something for Pepe, and I'm still doing something for Pepe. Where, as if we were both in the NFT project, I'm leaving or he's leaving. You know? Like, so I always use an example of one of my own arch nemesis, you know, Paulie from the Bored Ape shit, that he can still do his thing, bring all those people on board, and I could do the same thing, and we could get along. So that's another thing I haven't seen in Web3 that's pretty interesting. You know, whether you like that or not. I just think that if we could just get people in the door, not really just fucking buy NFTs, just meaning sign up for a fucking MetaMask or OKX wallet. Like, let's just get these people there. Like, onboarding, we always want to get them to this fucking, like, we want to get them to buy a pudgy penguin or a fucking ape or a ute. Like, let's just get fuckers here in the door like how we started. We bought SafeMoon, Dogecoin, GameStop, all that shit. So I feel like it's a repeat, and we needed this breath of fresh air. And I feel like I'm the only influencer on the Spaces list. So whatever one you go to, whether it's NFT Talk or Super Spaces, I'm happy I got kicked out. And there's a whole bunch of new people that I've never fucking heard of in my life. All fucking, you know, Vladdy, all these dudes that I've met in these Pepe spaces literally kicked us all fucking out. Like, I see why influencers are mad at that, but, you know, I'm from the music industry, so that makes me want to go, okay, how can I do some stuff with these Pepe guys that are popping off? Not fuck these guys, fuck these girls. I don't want nothing to do with them. They're fucking clowns. Like, you know, like, that's not the way to move. And I'm not seeing a lot of influencers like be happy for these people that literally 2 weeks ago nobody knew who any of these people were. Now you go look on Super Spaces, and the top 15 or 8 or 9 are literally people that just came in the last month. And dude, how can that not be exciting? Like, motherfuckers need to get off their own clout calculator and about their engagement that I can't leave that to my kids. You know what I mean? I can't leave that to my friends if something happens to me. Like, but you can leave, you know, your legacy. That's why I always say legacy over currency, like Chicago says, man. And we need to be motivating these newer people because they're going to turn spiteful. And you're seeing that. They're like, you know, now they're going against some of the Bored Apes, but they're not doing it against, you know, Yuga. They're doing it against those individuals who want to be assholes. And then now they're going to classify, you know, everyone with Yuga or everyone with the Pudgies or everybody with, you know, whatever project is talking shit. We don't need that. We need to be like, yo, Vladdy, this kid wasn't even fucking around a month ago, and now he's a top 20 Twitter space host. Like, we need to be uplifting that. But sorry to go on a fucking rant. It's just kind of irritating to see calculated hits from Cointelegraph, but we could go over that later, to just people hating and people I respected for the last 2 years. Like, I've known Michael that just came up one of the longest in the space, and people I've known as long as Michael, I'm really shaking my head like, damn, bro, like you can't be happy for anyone. Like you're mad at people making money, and that's just fucking weird, bro. Like there's no other word for it. It's fucking weird. Like people like are feeding their families and you're mad. Like that's just fucking weird to me, bro. Like I don't get why in Web3 or collectibles even.
Wait, what do you mean? Who's mad?
The whole space, everybody's either you're with Pepe or you're against it. Like why does it have to be
Why
either
do you
one?
think that is, Scott?
Because
Why do you think most of that is?
what I just said about the engagement.
No, bro, they bought at the top. That's all it is. Like, that's all it is, bro. Is people buy at the top. Some people buy at the bottom. You're gonna see hate from that. Cointelegraph, bro, like they've been irrelevant since last year. They still charge the same prices. Nobody's paying it. So I don't like when I look at the chart, like I don't see anything out of the norm of like a consolidating lot of losses. I mean, do you use a type of thing like when I was trading NFTs, when NFTs were doing all these free shitter coins or all that free mints and stuff, like charting with who's actually selling for profit or who's actually selling for a loss? I'll give you an idea of like right now what the like. Do you think people are taking profits? Or do you think people are just taking losses on this route right now? So what do you think they're going to go do? Is they're going to go FUD it? So like, come on, man, you got a thick skull, bro. You know what's up. The Cointelegraph shit is just it's something for them, for somebody who's already pissed off to get behind. So you just can't let it all get to you, man. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm just more upset about Cointelegraph. Like, not only because a lot of people, obviously, Chris, you already know, like, a lot of people didn't know they have a pitch deck for spaces. And then to have all those people up that literally some of those people have big ass followings, for them to be all up there and then have that lawyer who saying she can give financial advice. And now she literally took down her website, made her tweets private. Like, dude, that shit's damn near illegal, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and all this just because you're mad at that coin, bro. Like, that's crazy to me. Where, like, we know Cointelegraph's a joke, but other people, bro, that's like their top 5 Web3 news, like, outlet, bro. And that's what made me mad that Joe Nakanono and that clown crew, like, bro, you know how many people sold their Pepe listening to that space? Like, not the smart people, obviously, or people that have been. But, dude, people took L's off that space yesterday, bro, because of that chick saying, yeah, I am a lawyer and I have financial advice. Like, what are you talking about? And then Spotty, shout out Spotty Wi-Fi, literally everyone didn't know Spotty used to be a lawyer, literally just started calling her out and boom, her website's down. She fucking made her LinkedIn, you know, where only certain people can see it. Then, she changes her tweets to private, and it's like, this girl literally on a recorded space saying all this bullshit, how it's going to zero, and she's a lawyer and she can say that. Like, and then now to buy all the whatever the people that look over the lawyers
Is that the
arena.
Is that the bro? Is that the type of that the type of holders you have? Is a chick for the first time comes into a space and tells people it's going to zero, so they sell? Like, that's not gonna get you to the moon either.
Oh no, 100%. But I don't mind that in a regular space. Like, say it's a space like us, we have 200, 300 people, or even if we were doing it on Web3 Exposed or a different space, that shit, don't mind. But when it's a place like Cointelegraph where a lot of people don't know any better, that's the problem I have.
Yeah, I mean, like, this
using
is
their
also
status and their position in the industry to hurt others, to flood people, to say things that they're not warranted. And regardless if it was people in her ear, pushing her to say things, or maybe she just finally wanted a moment to shine, and to be the person with the mic. But Scott,
Yeah,
Yeah,
put money in
Walker,
it.
that's what she was doing, and it was like, you're literally clout chasing. Like, I know I mean, obviously, I don't know the laws of Dubai, but man, you for sure can't do that if you're a fucking lawyer in America. So that's why it was just upsetting. And Chris, you're right. Do you want people that fucking sell on news, like fake news?
I mean, I
No,
bought,
no.
bro. When I saw this dip, I bought some. Last night, really late last night. I was like, "Oh, this looks healthy." I mean, thank you. What do you want me to say? no, like I have no emotion to Pepe. I don't go into spaces and look for stuff. I look at the chart and I understand what I'm looking at. So when I saw what I saw, I was like, all right, yeah. So I put an extra 0.2 in like really late last night. I mean, that's just the way the space is, man. You're when we're playing with DeFi shit coins, this is not like it's really, if it's not rocket science. So bro, like another thing is I get it. Like, yeah, no, I mean, like that's what the space is here for, is for people to LARP. It's for people to be real. It's for education. It's for somebody to get their troll on, or maybe feel special for a minute. But like I think that some people, need to, if you're taking a loss, you don't lose until you sell. So there's a lesson for anybody who sold.
Michael, I don't think that we've introduced you to the stage, man. Thank you for coming up. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Doing great, guys. It's just been insane this year with all the conferences and NFT events, and now I got VCon coming up. Not sure who's
You
there.
got a
You and Scott
friend,
Fu gonna go
Scott.
on like little dinner dates together. You're
Oh,
gonna be the
thank
only
God
ones
you're
there.
going, Michael. Like nobody else is going.
Wait, what
It's
do you
just
mean?
me.
What happened? What happened?
Everyone's going to
Yeah,
Bitcoin
everyone's
Miami.
going to Bitcoin Miami. It's just me and you going to VCon, bro.
Yo,
It'll be me
we
and
gotta
you there.
cancel our tickets and go to Bitcoin Miami, bro. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
guys. Michael just can't. I told Scott, floor everything, floor your VCon, floor your hotel, floor your plane ticket. I mean, dude, call Expedia.
Hotel.
Put that bitch on Hopper, bro. Don't even play. No, I'm just kidding. No, man, it's great to see you,
So
Mike. I would love to hear like more about what's going on with your journey and kind of like your experience this cycle. I just wanted to throw out there, Scott, you didn't even mean to do it. You're out here flooding my bags. Funny as shit. You go look at my Twitter profile, and I literally posted this week taking meme coin profits and putting them into Chainlink and ApeCoin. That's so funny, but it's true. It gets boring, it gets monotonous. But it comes back, to the value proposition, and something like Chainlink, with they have one of the most abundant partnerships in the space, an Oracle solution. Taking off-chain data and bringing that on chain. To me, it's so natural. It's something that we're gonna continue to need, and it will have to expand as blockchain is adopted across all industries, which I think it will be. Yeah, and that the perspective. So Scott, before we move on, I would like to know from your perspective. None of this is financial advice. We're just having a conversation. But community so well. I mean, for anybody that doesn't know, Scott has been a key piece in quite a few of the top the top Twitter spaces. So like you have been around and you have seen the network effect and how these things grow. And you even alluded to like you're like all this time that I've spent here, I have not seen something like this. Where do you think this is going? Like how big do you think it could get?
I think it's already like. I mean, I'm not going to bet who's behind this coin, but anyone who knows coins, like this isn't like no, me, Michael, and Chris and Walker threw 5 ETH in a fucking pool and followed that how to make a meme coin in two minutes. This is brilliant marketing. This is great strategic alliance. This is like whoever's doing the backdoor stuff with the token, who's ever the biz dev, that's what I do now. So I'm just very impressed from the biz dev to the marketing side. And that's outside of the community part, which you spoke on. That's the part that is like you never know what's gonna happen, right? Like you see some of the dopest NFT projects, like they just don't go nowhere. And just being able to have me and Luke and Nets have the same mentor, so I'm lucky enough to like be able to like hear what how they believe things should be built and grown in this space. And if you can't, I think people forget the NFT part. Like what Yuga did a great job is they built their brand, which what's that happen? That makes your collectibles worth something, right? Like Bored Ape is more than just a Bored Ape. It's a fucking expensive ass collectible with cultural, relevance and meaning where Pepe had that with the meme already. But the part that I didn't see was David Gokhshtein, was Paulie coming out of nowhere. All these other guys that I spoke on earlier that never hosted Twitter Spaces in their life that are getting 4x, 5x people's favorite Web3 influencer that's been doing Spaces for, a year and a half. You guys know this. There's no secret sauce to growing your Twitter Space except for showing up every day. And for some people to get 1,000 fucking people in a space without growing it, like how Morgan did it, how Profits and Books and myself, everyone who's had successful Twitter Spaces, it's been organic. Leap, I could go on. Farouk, I could go on and on. To see people with literally like 2,000 fucking followers, like just start hosting spaces and have 1,000 people not give a fuck what project they dropped or what they did on Clubhouse. And this isn't a diss to anybody. This is what I'm observing. It's pretty crazy and cool. And I feel like this is what the space needed. We're always going to be in the same flywheel. No, I'm not even going to fly. I'm going to call it Ferris wheel. We're going to be in the same Ferris wheel over and over again in this space if the same VCs are if it's Paradigm, if it's always A16Z. And I love those guys. It's just we need other VCs. We need other blood. We need other companies. We need other everything. It's just, when we got to 9,000 wallets last month, it was a look in the fucking mirror time for Web3, in my opinion. And this little fucking frog that nobody fucking saw coming came. And like I said earlier, now, if Pepe ends up being the one that holds and it's like, the new SHIB or the new, Doge, I don't know. But I do know it's birthing these ideas and these new creators and thinkers that I didn't see coming. And I think this is what the space needed.
Yeah, and let me touch on this, Walker, because actually, there's a few things I want to touch on real quick. One, thanks for jumping in here, Michael. I'd love to reschedule with you to do something a little bit more bigger for Wallet Guard for potentially like next week or something with us. Two, Michael, if you want to jump in the next space with us, I do have an audience of shitcoin people that are buying in, and I think you would have some impact there if that's cool with you, bro. And then number three, Scott, you're 100% correct. Like having Pepe was the main reason that we're even seeing any of this spark of like what we would almost like want to say is a bullish sentiment. This also has a really good chance to be a high, a top for a short period of time. You're right. You need new liquidity, but typically when you see the FUD start to take over Twitter and things starting to happen like this, you typically are seeing like top signals. But I think that, yeah, it's when Pepe is really cool because like it comes back even from like my days of just being somebody on the internet my entire life. And I think like a lot of normies also understand that what the Pepe is, that to a certain extent. It doesn't mean everybody in the world does, but like there is a bigger audience, and that is something that can be on-ramped through a shit coin into an ecosystem where they now understand. If you're on-ramping into a coin that has an exchange, it's a lot easier. The people that are in here trying to make these big bucks, where you're, like the people that understand DeFi to hit like 100x's. We're the type of people that know how to make a trade and know things a lot, that a normal person doesn't do. So they're never typically going to beat me or beat a DeFi person on when it comes to profiting on trades. So like I still think like a lot of there's reasons for cooldowns and there's reasons for a lot of this FUD. It's just how the community holds up and how they come out of this. If people start arguing again with each other, well, there you go. The coin wasn't as strong as we thought, and that would, there's been many Pepes before this Pepe. But when it comes to if the community does have a good structure and it has the biz dev like you're talking about, Scott, you're 100% right, man. The coin can set new things. It's cool to see it hit Binance. Well, there was tokens somehow that were given to Binance. Nobody knows what the hell that was about. There's other exchanges like Mexi that I think they even started on, if I'm not mistaken, on. That's a shit. That's one of the biggest scams. So they, imagine where the coin would have went if it didn't go straight into these Chinese exchanges that then dumped the coin. Even I consider Binance US a Chinese exchange. Let's be real. So I think I'm actually more excited if you look at, like, I think you're seeing when you saw the Ben token run. You have the number one influencer from our previous cycle, and if not longer, one of the OGs that finally has been so misunderstood that now he's put his name against something, and you're seeing a lot of liquidity come back in through other coins. And then I'm seeing how that now it's like an argument between Pepe and Ben and stuff, which it's just so funny to me. It's like communities are fighting over their friends. It's like, oh, do you want to go hang out with those guys? You're like, they have a boat. Well, what about our boat? I mean, dude, hang out on our boat. Well, they got hotter chicks. Oh man, like maybe I'm gonna take my, maybe I'm gonna go hang out on that boat. And it's like everyone's kind of like fighting over each other at like a little a sandbar. Like we're all just trying to find enough sand and on the beach. It's kind of funny to me. Like, I mean, this isn't my first shitcoin cycle, and to see that, like, just to see how quickly it's all like kind of like all just ancestrally, like when it comes to NFT and crypto people all getting together having a hype, and then something blows up and everybody starts dumping. I mean, it's due for a retrace, bro, but that doesn't mean the coin is anywhere near dead. I mean, it still has, like you said, the holders, and as long as holder count goes up, you're filling in blanks for what a real like tier one exchange would need. Now, I'm not sure if the Binance play with having like private tokens or where the hell happened there was, if that's good or bad for the future, because now Binance already has you listed on one part of them, so they kind of already own part of it. But maybe now it's the game. Now it's that long game to see if you get like a Coinbase or getting it, and you're just centralizing this coin even more and more. So I think actually like price action on this coin could go down just for the sheer fact that like the degen side of things is going to start exiting, because none of us really care about the centralization platforms as much as like somebody does that wants to see this on an exchange because they love to see numbers go up or go down. But like for the true degen, like this is like very bear. Everything that Pepe's done for me has been very bearish of like a decentralized coin. It doesn't mean I'm not going to still own it and make some money on it, but I don't have any emotion outside of I know exactly everything that coin has like regarding meme ability. I see that there's a spaces with 800 people in it, and the coin price action goes up or down. And I can't like, and it's really freaking cool, like you said, bro, to see like people's lives change, especially people that have special needs, man. Dude, the stories you said it the last space I think was a little bit of what you're talking about now, man. Like hell yeah, bro. It's like, dude, game changing, life changing money, man. Let's go. Like that. They've also could be degens. So like, it's kind of cool to see. Like regardless, it's everyone's gonna win, but when somebody wins, there has to be a loser. You know that. Like I just think that that's something we all have to remember, man. And like I think you like Scott. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like it's it gets hard after a while, because once you get so invested into a project or a coin and it's community based, these little things like a coin telegraph, dude. I get that people get their news there, but like coin telegraph's been so irrelevant for it. We're not even in a bull cycle yet, like who's actually reading their shit?
Talking about centralized exchanges, uh, ever since about like 2 weeks ago, I've opened up like 5 or 6, and I don't suggest anyone do this. I don't suggest anyone use a centralized exchange, not your keys, not your crypto. I completely understand that. So I completely understand that what I'm doing is probably not the best thing to do. But I have an L Bank account now, and I have a MEXC account because shitcoins get posted or listed on those exchanges before Binance, which is like how I onboard and offboard crypto, like here in Uruguay. But yeah, I've had to open up accounts on there because once the coins that I'm bullish on get listed there, I can go trade there, and I don't have to spend $50 on a transaction. So yes, centralization is bad, but like some of the coins that I'm bullish about, like I'd rather buy on there and not pay $50 in transaction fees.
But you're never gonna make money, Enzo. You're never gonna make a gain, because by the time it gets there, like for example, Mexi typically wants around like $50 to $100,000, and typically they'll take it in tokens. And at a point where, let's say the market cap for that token's 10 mil, and they go on Mexi, and now they got all these tokens, it reaches up 50. They just start dumping on you. So like when you go to buy and you think you're gonna like go make a bag and it looks cool, it's going, like they are literally dumping the tokens that they got for listing that on you. The only way that like there's no such thing as a truly decentralized coin, because companies that are organically listing you, you have no say. They're just going to go ahead and put you on there. So like, like the Mexies, they don't organically list. They're a tier 3 shitter, and they will dump on every single one. I mean, the only one that I think that they haven't dumped on, or they're not going to, or maybe Binance isn't going to, is going to be Mong. Like, I think because that kid is so rolled out of his mind that he's got connections at all these places, and sounds like he has them in an agreement not to dump. But like, yeah, man, just be very careful. Like, if you sometimes $50 versus like if you're going to play it for the right reason, if you're looking to make a financial gain, like you got it. It's all about being early in this space. I mean, Scott, you got into Pepe under $1 million market cap, right?
No, under a quarter. No, I was actually late, bro. I was at like 200 mil, bro.
I forget. What'd you do, Michael? Did you get in early on that?
Did I do what?
Did you get in early on Pepe?
Yeah, I got in pretty early actually.
What day was it?
It was a few weeks ago.
I've been in since the 16th.
Still up like 7x at this point, which is not bad. But
okay. Yeah, I got in. I think I got in around. It was 25 days ago. It was I bought in around 16, 17, 18th. I told my sister she would have bought in. Her coin would have been like would have been worth like 100x by now, or at least the top. It was around 100x when we.
I was at. I know that I have put in. So I took my unclaimed ape coin from the contract. I think it was like around like 300 ape coin at the time, and I put it directly into Pepe, and then that turned into like $11,000, and then from the pullback, it's like I'm down to like maybe like 5,500 or 6,000. It's still free technically, but I could swap it for ApeCoin. I could come back out with like 1,400 ApeCoin. So it's basically turning 300 ApeCoin into 1,400 ApeCoin, because I'm most likely going to just restake and let it compound again.
Fuck yeah, bro! That's sick. That's another way of using these kind of coins to turn money into more money. You have to have money to make money here, or else you're fighting gas fees.
The thing is, like, a lot of people that, especially like the ones that like don't really understand like how all this works, they get like a few $100s, they come in, and then the gas fee is already like $60-$70. So they're already hurting themselves on the long run. You're already cutting into your own money just off of gas, and you don't realize that. So you're only going to make a ton of money if you're in late, if you're playing with large amounts. Otherwise, it's not worth it, bro. Like, by the time you swap in and swap back out, you already broke even or lost money on the difference in gas fees.
Yeah, and it's the hard truth for some people. It's like it's a and it's only going to get worse. I mean, we saw the post yesterday about the deflation of Ethereum, and Walker talked about it a little bit earlier today in the space here. But yeah, I mean, it's only going to keep getting worse. And then when I say worse, it's deflationary is not bad, but it's going to be worse for usage. Like, if you're a holder for Ethereum, then you're going to be in really, really good shape. But like, if you're going to be wanting to use it, if you're going to want to be trading Ethereum-based NFTs, well, I mean, this is only going to get like 4%. I think it's month after month right now, and a lot of this is caused by the Mevbot. If you think about it, like the Mevbot, Jared, is causing a lot of transactions to happen, which is then burning tokens. So it's interesting, but yeah. So I know that there is a Gensler space. Did you want to speak? Did you want to do any speaking on wallet protection a little bit here, Michael? Not in this.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. We actually just surpassed 13,000 users. So we've been scaling very quickly, and essentially it's a free open source browser extension. It installs within seconds and it starts working immediately. All it's doing is just telling you what's about to happen with your wallet before it actually happens. So just to keep it simple, it's a matter of just having readable context as to what's coming in and out of your wallet, besides just seeing a gas fee, to put it simply. So I'll pin up one of our last posts, and it's pretty straightforward. We're open source. We also have our repo on GitHub. Every time that we post an update to the Chrome store, we're posting it on GitHub first. unlike other applications that claim that they're open source and their repos months out of date. So we take a lot of precautions to make sure we're as transparent as possible, so people know like there's no way we could make decisions for you. We're just showing you what's about to happen before it happens. I just posted it up there for you guys.
Fantastic. So like give you guys some Scott, just give you some background. I mean, I'm pretty sure a few of us, like Walker, myself, and some of the team here, we've been buying the Gensler coin for a while now, hanging out with like Coco and all these people in it. And so like the spaces have been popping off. They started 10 minutes ago. So I figured, Michael, if you want to jump into there and do a little spiel on the same thing. But I think these people that are buying, like, a lot of them are truck drivers, bro. Some of them sound like they're on farms. I'm telling you, they definitely need to know about some wall protection, to be honest with you, man.
No, it's a super cool community. Yeah, man. I mean, that's
community.
That's such an awesome message, Michael. I really appreciate just your mind and your train of thought. That's one of the most crucial things for our space to grow. Is for people to feel like that they can come and interact and not get run, not lose it. And I mean, honestly, man, take it a step further. Even with me onboarding people, I mean, there have been a lot of times where I influence people, they were very interested in crypto, and I kind of stopped because, like, I know I had one friend, and I got him set up. He was trading NFTs, made a great trade for his first trade, and then he went and clicked on a bad link. And there was a process he went through. And I told him, you never give your seed phrase anywhere, but it was like replicating MetaMask, and telling them that, he needed to put it in to recover it and lost it. So, having these, solutions that allow people to really understand what's going on, because I feel like that's one of the biggest issues, one of the biggest like faults in the process is that people don't know what's going on. They see that smart contract come up, they're like, "Yep, that's it." Let's send it.
That's the thing. It's like, how can we expect the masses to come and enjoy Web3 when we ourselves are afraid of clicking links, when we can't even read signatures or we can't understand Solidity or smart contracts? That's not how Web3 is going to scale, to be honest with you. So you're going to need to have layers like Wallet Guard that are literally telling you what's about to happen and making it not so easy to lose your shit. And that's honestly why MetaMask partnered with us. Wallet Guard is actually going to be a featured snap within the MetaMask extension by the end of the year. So you won't have to have Wallet Guard as a separate app in your browser. Like, I can't give more security alpha than that.
Dude, that is awesome. I love that. I didn't even think about that as a possibility, but almost like a widget running on top of MetaMask and allowing for different levels of security and features. That's really, really cool, man.
Bro, like, think about it. Like, you're onboarding your friends or family, like they type OpenSea wrong, or they think there's a free mint, or they don't know how to read the signature. One click and their shit is gone. You think they're gonna like Web3? Or they're gonna come back and say, yo, that shit's a scam, bro. Yeah, but and that's why every time I'm onboarding, bro, anytime I show somebody Wallet Guard, like when we're doing like a Zoom session or a Google Hangout and they're seeing it for the first time, they're like installing it on the spot because it's like a fucking no-brainer. It's like, why wouldn't you have just a layer of security in between that doesn't have any ability to even make decisions for you? It's just telling you what's going to happen. Like, it's that simple. So, yeah.
I love it so much, and this is kind of funny. So I've heard you speak about this solution in other spaces, and there have even been a few times in which there were conversations regarding security and how we can make it better. And I used you as a case study, or your product of solutions that were being introduced. What the future is going to look like for us to start to solve this issue. But in full transparency, the number one reason that I haven't downloaded it is again because of the security, right? And the fallacy in that is hilarious. But like truly, I'm like, well, what could be inside of that code that now I'm allowing access, to read everything that's going on inside of these transactions. And so yeah, just like for you as an owner, I want to see you excel, and I can definitely be an advocate of what you're doing. But the easier that it is for people, and dude, for a freaking stamp from MetaMask, right? Boom, it's a no-brainer at that point. If I'm in my MetaMask and they're endorsing it, I'm mindless. I'm going for it.
No, 100%, bro. I mean, we're going to be doing a security space with MetaMask's main account next month. So Wallet Guard X MetaMask. So we're gonna, yeah, that's gonna be friggin' next level stuff. But yeah, I mean, being in the space for a year and a half, having 40 recorded security sessions that we host on our Twitter Spaces. We do a weekly security session every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. We've went full open source. We've partnered up with MetaMask. We actually also just partnered up with Chainalysis. We're backed by Consensus, Ethereal Ventures, IOSG Ventures. I mean, how much more can I bring to the table to show people that, like, this is the company that you want to fuck with when you want security in Web3. Like, it's that straightforward.
Let's go, bro. It's sick, man.
And thanks for letting me talk about it, guys. I'm sorry if I
Dude,
sound
I
like
love it.
No,
Dude,
dude,
I
no.
love
Actually, I want to give you like more audience. That's what I was trying to say. Is like, let's shut this one down, head over to the other one that has over 40 people in it, give you a larger audience, and then we can set up another space for TopeTalk and have you with with more people so that we get a larger group here. I just want to say I would like to have you back on again, bro, for sure. But
Chris,
yeah, man.
before we shut it down,
Good.
I would love to just I'll share with you guys. I want to share with you guys kind of like what my bag's looking like, because I don't think the Memecoin season.
No, I am not letting you share what your bag's looking like. You FUD mine all the time. I'm shutting this thing down.
No, bro, we can share with each other. It gives everybody in here a little.
I don't want to share my bags with you.
Well, I'll share mine. So, like right now,
Yeah.
one of the most important things, in my opinion, when it comes to a meme coin is truly just like the memeability of it, right? At the very like core of the idea, like, does this thing have viral potential? Now, of course, there's outliers. Right? You can have bad memes that have incredible communities and they're able to twist it and spin it and push it successfully. But with mine, I finally got into Pepe, super late, but under one bill, right? Maybe in the future that won't look so late. Gensler, I think is a really cool one. There's spaces going on for anybody that wants to go over there when we finish here. It's a great community. But right, to me that's like it's really interesting, and like this idea of like the new world of finance and how we regulate our world. I think there's something very special there, and to me, like, as long as Gary Gensler and the SEC is relevant, so will be the coin, right? Like that's kind of my thought process there. I've got Lambo and Bull. Both of those, again, I feel like for the culture, right? For like what we talk about in this industry, win Lambo, right? We're Bull, right? Through this cycle, I feel like those two are some of the most memeable things that I've come across. The contracts are announced, like all of the things check out for me to say, okay, this isn't a rug. It's super memeable, and so you're really just trying to give yourself as best of an opportunity, a better probability as the liquidity flows. Because really, I think more than anything, people hopping from one coin to another, right? But just getting in the right ones that are going to have a great run is the goal for me. So Lambo and Bull, Wasi. Wasi's a really interesting one to me because it is memeable, but they have also done what Bob did with the AI Twitter bot. So it like uses ChatGPT and it'll answer all these questions. And to me, that's like the only thing special about Bob. It's like a $50 million market cap. Now, Elon Musk replied to it several times. So, but with Wasi, it has kind of that same value proposition. Very low market cap relatively. I think it could be a good one. Ben, still holding some Ben, may load up on more Ben. I mean, honestly, with BitBoy behind it now, And BitBoy working so hard, and I must say he's done a phenomenal job at restoring, just how people view him in the space. But with him kind of like coming out and this being like one of the first things to my knowledge that he's really put his name on, I would have to think he's going to drive this thing for a minute, right? The day after he comes back into the scene can't be the fireworks, in my opinion. Maybe it is. Maybe it's already topped. But yeah, I like Ben on a pullback, just accumulating. And
they're all going to zero, bro. All zero.
All right. Well, there's the ones that I'm looking at, and I think that it's gonna be a fun ride.
All right, boys. All right. Follow me over, Michael Scott. I don't know if Scott, if you're free, come over to this Gensler, hang out with us. You won't get chastised for being a Pepe Maxi. You'll survive. I'll make sure it don't happen. I mean, it doesn't matter because you're going to VCon, so you're not going to be invited on the Gensler yacht. You're not going to be invited to the Gensler parties. It's just going to be sad for you, bro. I'll take some really good pictures of all the chicks that you introduced me to, like you said you would, all your Miami girls. So, all right, guys, have a good rest of your night. If you're wanting to head over to the other one, Michael, come over, talk some wallet guard, bro. It's important for these guys, especially ones that don't ever. This is like the first coin they've ever gotten. And someone has an actual tattoo of Gensler on his arm. He needs to know how to keep his wallet safe. And yeah, we'll let you guys know. TopeTalk might be changing days and times again. We'll give you an idea of what the case is with that as soon as we know. Sorry, Capital. Sorry, that's probably not the right time for you, man. My bad. All right, see you guys.
Yeah, cyberpunk. Yeah. I mix my ETH with Polygon Pythagoras. Metamask. Yeah, crypto cash. Yeah, I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Phase 1 evolution, revolution. Smart contracts inside your smartphone. Phase 1 evolution, revolution. Help me ET phone. Whole body markerless motion capture. The metaverse broken after the Metatope golden era. The whitelist still open. Hurry up, what you need? Golden chariot. Holy virgins that's holding cherubims, paving the road with fairy dust. Create the avatar of your wildest dreams, yeah, and use it inside your live stream. And all your metaverses, favorite games in widescreen. Metatope, visualize your digital ID. I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Yeah, Metatope is your mirror to the metaverse. Yeah, I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Metatope.